Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
We're all right. It's Friday. It's the weekend.
And it's been a pretty hectic week. And in the Western Cape, we've had fires. And last night we had a lot of rain, which in our area at least, the table grape growers are not very happy about. But we hope it's extinguished the fires in the mountains. So, let's hope it's something good.
Did the Hicks have a lot of rain?
We had a lot of rain through the night.
Okay, we also woke up to a wet lawn. I'm not sure how much it rained, but there was water on the ground, which means that something did fall out of the sky.
Yes, and we hope that that's an end to the fires in our area. That would be good news. So Friday is always, Friday is always a good day.
Yeah, normally.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about this morning?
Well, I think this is both it's both commercial
Interesting
and cultural, because it's something that we don't know anything about. You want to talk about this one, Dewald?
I found it on the freshfruitportal.com. It was shared on LinkedIn, and it says Mexico exported 137,500 tons of avocados. Almost sounds like Jacob Zuma there with the numbers.
Listen carefully.
Tons of avocados for the Super Bowl. Now, Super Bowl being a US thing, we don't really follow it in South Africa. I'm not sure if this is possibly like a tradition at the Super Bowl, like strawberries and cream. Is it like Wimbledon or something of the sorts? But it goes down during the Super Bowl, and it's obviously been running for a while. I don't even know what L means.
55. So that's the 58th Super Bowl.
58th Super Bowl. There we go. The main event of the American Football League, Mexican avocados were once again a big part of the celebrations. To learn more about our Mexican avocado participation this year, Fresh Fruit Portal spoke with Armando Lopez Orduna, General Director of Association of Avocado Producers and Packers Exporters of Mexico. Lopez said that Mexico is the main avocado producing country in the world, and that APM, an association, has been exporting avocados to the US for 26 years, beginning with the state of Michigan and adding the state of I messed up that one. And adding the state of Jalisco to 2022 with around 170,000 hectares planted. Sorry for the Mexican-speaking or Spanish-speaking people. I really did mess up that one.
We can't do all the accents, Dewald.
Okay, so Super Bowl 2024. Lopez notes that avocados have become a tradition during the big game, and that this year we had the second best year in terms of shipments for the Super Bowl, with a total of 137,500 tons. He says that shipments will continue after the Super Bowl, and that we have the big date on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, coming up.
The 5th of May, that means the 5th of May.
Okay. Which may be even more important in volume for avocado consumption in the United States. I'm not sure what the 5th of May represents. We would love to know.
We don't know. We're from Africa. We don't know these things.
Yeah, this is just purely because it's interesting to us. We want to target high avocado consuming states such as California, the East Coast, which is where exports began. We're looking for areas in the central and northern part of the United States, which are states with smaller populations. He added, we're trying to have an impact through the promotions that Avocados from Mexico makes to the main stores that have presence in those places.
To the chain stores that have presence in those places. Yeah. So in other words, to move them into the areas where they're not that well known, like the more northern and central parts of the US. Obviously, the supply chains to there from the coast where the imports arrive is more challenging. So obviously, that's the more difficult places to reach.
Interesting fact is, when we started exporting, per capita consumption was around 500 grams, and today we have more than 3.5 kilograms. That's a big growth.
The increase in avocado consumption globally has been phenomenal. It is growing at a remarkable rate, and I mean over the last decade and a half, avocados have gone from, kind of something that people would occasionally buy to almost a weekly purchase in certain parts of the world. And the World Avocado Association is a part of that success because they promote avocados completely, avocado consumption, not particularly where it comes from. And as it says here, the promotions that avocados from Mexico additionally make. So they do their own promotions, and there's a global one. So that's part of why things have grown that fast.
Okay, so they look to export 1.1 million tons of avocados this year for 2023-2024 season, and they're expecting growth of 5% per year. The markets for Mexican avocados has about 35,000 producers, that's growers, at 90 packing houses. So I presume there's a lot of cooperative type style packing houses there that growers don't necessarily own a packing house like what they do in South Africa, from which they'll send fruit to Japan, traditionally the second market, and Canada, which has surpassed Japan. So if I read it right, Canada is their second biggest client. They also have minimal presence in Europe, Central America, and China. Challenges. Given the success of the crop and exports, Engineer Lopez emphasized, given that there are many places internationally, we are living in a global avocado industry. Countries like Spain, Morocco, Kenya, and South Africa are also looking for their markets, and that is forcing us to make those markets close. He indicated that in the last season, they have maintained an adequate price level for the entire chain. It is in balance for all actors in the value chain. It looks like they are doing well.
Well, they've been long established, and, with the growth of avocado production that we referred to earlier, so obviously all around the world, people are producing avos, and and now it's, like with anything, there's a jockeying for market space, and Mexico's, their proximity to somewhere like Canada, you can understand why they're exporting to there, and Japan is across the Pacific from them. So,
well, technically, they could possibly just go with trucks from Mexico to Canada.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know how they do that, how it is done. But anyway, it's interesting. What caught our attention here with this article was the massive interest in avocados and connected to the Super Bowl, which is something we didn't know. So we learned something in the process.
Interesting. Okay. Then you want to take the next one?
Yes. Okay. So let's. This is an article that we've had here. It's in Daily Maverick, and the heading is Corporate Governance, and it says acting Transnet boss Phillips emerges as a front runner after board lists preferred CEO candidates. So Michelle Phillips is seen as bringing a stable pair of hands and continuity to Transnet. She took over as the acting CEO when Portia Derby resigned and has been in the top job for almost 4 months. She joined Transnet in 2001 and rose through the ranks. So it seems, that she is already the acting CEO, and Transnet is really moving and shaking at the moment in response to all the problems of the port and the rail. So we all know there's been a big problem, and it's been very widely publicized. But the feedback in the last 2 to 3 weeks is that there is a lot of action happening, and Portnet is really moving and shaking to make things work better. And one of them is leadership, and it says the acting CEO has emerged as a front runner, and the candidates that have been selected by the state-owned Transport Group's board, it looks like she might take the top position permanently. So it's good to know, and we wish her luck under very difficult circumstances. And she's seen as bringing a stable pair of hands and continuity to Transnet. And let's hope Transnet and all the new leadership, including Ms. Phillips, make things work, because it's really, really important.
Yes, it's a tough job, but I don't think there's a lot of applications for it anyway.
We don't know, but certainly, let's put it this way: it'll be a hot seat.
Yeah, and those that do take it, they need to they need to know their story to handle all the wheels involved with that machine. It's like, I think there was an ad out for a new CEO for Eskom after the writer left, and they couldn't find, or nobody applied for it for something like 8 months or something of the sorts.
Yes. So we hope that Michelle Phillips makes it into the as a she's already acting CEO. Let's hope she gets appointed, and let's wish her all the luck, because she's going to need it. And good luck to Transnet and Miss Phillips.
Yep.
So then we have something else. You want to take this one, Devalt?
Let me just get it up on the screen here. This again is something that we found interesting, and there's a picture of a fantastic President Cyril Ramaphosa there, which is, I don't think it's needed. Basically goes down that 22 mega projects coming to South Africa, including new lifestyle estates and a big upgrade for BMW. So this is all about the new things that's been tabled and built and coming to South Africa by the looks of things. But there's an interesting article here. An interesting paragraph. Let me just find it here quickly.
It's just above the graph.
Okay. Although the general government announced 101.6 billion rands worth of projects, and now just to interrupt myself there, I don't think our government has forgotten that there's something starting with an M or even with a T. They don't need to speak in billions at the moment. Although the general government announced 101.6 billion rands worth of projects, 60% of these are projected by the city of Cape Town, including 45 billion rand for upgrading wastewater works, sewers, and road infrastructure, and 24 billion towards minimizing load shedding. So we're not going to go through this whole thing because they talk about a lot of other stuff. But that one for the Western Cape is the interesting thing. And yeah.
Look, let's put it this way. We, as South Africans and people living in the Western Cape, we've been seeing over the last couple of months, and in fact the last 2 years, how the city of Cape Town and the Western Cape is just booming ahead of the rest of the country when it comes to development, infrastructure, fixing things, making things work. And here you have it. Western Cape on the map, 10% of South Africa's size. Western Cape represents 10%. And here we are. We're getting 60% of government expenditure and big projects. 60% are being done in the Western Cape. So, congratulations to the powers that be and to the people that are running the government in the Western Cape for making this happen and for really booming ahead with development in our province, which we're very grateful for.
There's a lot of stuff happening, and I think it would be interesting to see that from that 60% that's allocated to the Western Cape, how much is being spent inside Cape Town, inside the city of Cape Town versus the other areas, because the Cape Townians only know two mountains, and that's Table Mountain and the Cedarburg. And and people living in Paarl say that we live very far from the city, even though it's 20 minutes drive. So I would be curious to know as to how much will be spent in the rural areas of that money.
Yes.
Or what do they have planned for the rural areas? Now, just in Worcester where we live, we saw something the day before yesterday that they're going to be upgrading a section of the N1 highway just past Worcester on the way to the Dorrans. Looks hugely exciting, and it is very needed. But how long will it take? How will it impact the road movement? Because there's no alternative route for people driving that piece of road every day. All trucks, all buses. That's why if there is protests, they block off the N1. Then nobody can come through to Cape Town on the N1. So it's there's a lot of interesting things happening that we would love more info on.
And for us in our province, this is very good news. So let's hope let's hope that this realizes with government the way things are at the moment. You don't hold your breath, but what we're seeing in the Western Cape, what they say they're going to do, they generally do. So good luck to them, and we hope to see it.
Well, the thing with South African is the tender is awarded at 101.6 billion rand, but what is paid is 306 billion rand.
I think we should leave it there.
Anyway, okay.
Have a wonderful Friday, everyone.
All right. Cheerio.
Go well. Bye.
Bye.